Talk more about the president's pending speech tomorrow at West Point. With me now, Congressman Joe Sestak, Democrat from Pennsylvania. Congressman, a pleasure to have you. Let me ask you about what we're now hearing is the president's decision. What we're hearing is that the troop number, he'll announce something roughly around 30,000. We're expected to hear more specifics about a time frame from the president, an exit strategy, also more talk about the Pakistan strategy. Let's talk first about the numbers. You've talked about measured increases in the troops being all right with you. Explain your position.
Yes. This whole strategy has only one objective, and I hope the president makes that very clear tomorrow night. That's the eradication of al-Qaeda safe haven in Pakistan. This is really a Pakistan strategy. Pakistan, a nation that's almost a failed state with nuclear weapons. So that's why you've seen so much activity recently with General Jones over there, for example, and others telling Pakistan, we are there with you. But when you say, going to be putting an increase in troops.
Yeah, when you talk about this increase, now we're hearing that that number looks to be at somewhere around 30,000 or so. Yes. Is that to you an appropriate measured increase?
Absolutely. I have said somewhere between 25 and 35,000 probably will be the right amount, while turning to NATO for probably asking for 10, probably getting about 5 from them.
And let me ask you, because you started to talk then, sorry, I apologize, but let me bring you back to Pakistan because you started to talk about that. And there are reports today that the U.S. is offering Pakistan this strategic partnership that would include additional military and economic assistance. Then does that provide enough stability there in order to allow strategies in Afghanistan to succeed, in your opinion?
Not so sure about that. And here's why. Pakistan has been primarily focused on India. It still thinks India is like the Soviet Union was to us. It's its still Cold War adversary. We have to do more to bring India into a regional alliance, or at least some ad hoc coalition with Pakistan. And then what we have to do, besides just the military, besides just the economic assistance, is give more intelligence to the Pakistanis. We understand that their intelligence is very involved with some of these terrorist groups. They set them up into Afghanistan to go after the Soviet Union and others. But we have to be able to trust them more. For example, we actually have our predators, our drones, where we pull the trigger and actually kill someone of al-Qaeda on the other side of the border. I talked to President Musharraf, who is obviously no longer the president, about a month or two ago. And if we were to give them the ability to pull the trigger, that takes away the onus from us and places it upon their own troops going after al-Qaeda. Mm-hmm. There's more that we can do, and we must do it. But you can't leave behind a village.
Much has been discussed about the cost of the war in recent days. What are your thoughts?
Boy, it's $1 billion. I mean, what we're looking at is a lot of money here, and I understand this. But sometimes it's like Winston Churchill said, sometimes it's not enough to do your best. You have to do what's required. To leave behind a safe haven in Pakistan, where the al-Qaeda that actually planned against us the leadership is, in a very inhospitable terrain, to where they are able to recruit others and are very comfortable there among the tribal leaders that have, many of which have become radical. We cannot say that that's not an indispensable need to address that issue before we redeploy. As far as Afghanistan is concerned, if I might, we cannot try to do nation building there. We just have to leave behind conditions that are inhospitable to some degree for al-Qaeda to come back. This is about Pakistan.
Well, we should be hearing more about the president on his exit strategy tomorrow. Congressman Joe Sestak, sir, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And a programming note.